Hello, everybody. We are the Geeks and the Genets, and this week we'll be doing all westerns. I am Enzo. This is my forever co-host John. Today, at least, we are doing Killers of the Flower Moon, the first western by Martin Scorsese, and it's a pretty intense, epic, and at times, not at times, pretty bleak one. In my opinion, I don't know about my co-host
As
here.
always with Scorsese films, it never really ends. You know, that's why I like them. That's what I like about Scorsese films. Is that like, oh, look at glorified crime life. You know, they like to make it stylized. They like, oh, look how cool they are doing the crime, like how Peaky Blinders does it.
Yeah,
And then by the end of every film, they're always like, I'm alone or dying in prison for life, or like my family doesn't want to see me no more.
yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Right? And I will say what everybody else is saying about this movie. It's pretty good. Though, to steal your line, is that I don't think I'll ever watch this again because, my God, it's pretty sad when you really think about it.
Yeah, it's hella bleak.
It is.
Like the entire plot. Okay, no, not gonna lie. What was your first thoughts when you saw the trailer?
I thought this looks extremely sad, to be honest. Like, I think
Oh,
I was afraid this will
what
end with, like, a whole town on fire, and it kind of does.
ish? What was like your first thoughts when you're like, what was your thoughts on like the plot? Like, what did you think the plot was
Uh,
going into it?
I honestly thought that either DiCaprio's character will either take a stand with the Osage and help defend them, or he kills all of them.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. No, because I really thought this was like watching the trailer for the first time. I only watched it once. I thought you had to escort this person named Flower Moon across the Orient or some shit because there's people trying to kill her because they're racist.
Yeah,
Um, Sadly, only the latter part was true.
and her name's not Flower Moon either.
Flower Moon,
It's
it's Molly.
Molly. Yeah, the trailer too. I was like, ah, you know what? I won't say anything because I was like, you know what? I might get in trouble. If I was like, I could have sworn her name was Flower Moon, but maybe that's just my ignorance to thinking.
I'll do it. I'll fucking I'll bite the bullet.
Yeah,
No, but yeah, I really thought that was a plot where it was an escort mission. And I was like, whoa, that's a little, you know,
yeah,
nah, it's the same old Scorsese with organized crime. But I love it.
yeah. And well, we do meet Ernest Burkhart and his uncle William Hale, and from the start, you kind of can tell that Ernest is not the brightest bulb in the room, but he could tell he has. At the beginning, at least, he has the best intentions. Like, oh, well, he's nice, he's sweet at first to Molly. Molly's played by Lily Gladstone, and Lily Gladstone turns out to be the heart and soul of this movie because everybody else is
I agree.
just horrible. I mean, Ernest is not the
You,
brightest. William King Hale is just a monster, if we're being honest.
but you gotta give it to De Niro, though. Oh,
Yeah,
like, he has this whole, like, Colonel Sanders looking ass. It's just like, howdy, everybody. I'm actually an asshole inside.
yeah.
Like,
But I'll pretend to be an ally of the Osage Nation just to get the
yeah.
benefits. Uh,
And is this like a true story, by the way?
it is. It is based on the Osage murders that you see in this movie. Um,
Alright.
yeah, William King Hale. I do like the fact that De Niro is pushing. He's 89, or sorry, yeah, he's in his 80s, and he's still giving one hell of a performance as this horrible person. You're like, oh, Jesus Christ, you were. I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't like this character.
Yeah. No, but I love De Niro here because he was such a standout for me because it was like, again, like, from that time, I'll be those fools who've been like, oh, he's such a great guy, look at him.
Yeah,
And then, like, you don't know that he's actually killing off your race just for oil money. I was like, what the fuck? But anyway, a quick recap on how the actual plot is that the Osage were these Native Americans who got pushed into this little corner of Oklahoma, and they were like, ha, take that. You get rock and desert. And then they were like, oh, we found oil. And then now all the settlers are like, that pushed them into that corner, kind of like, hey, we kind of want that land back.
yeah,
And the Osage is like, sorry, we can't, well, like, sure you can, but the oil is ours. Thus making them like the richest people in America, or I guess the world. I don't know.
I would say America.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you see how William manipulates Ernest and to be like, hey, if these people die, you get your wife's money. And for some reason, Ernest is like, oh, hey, I'll just do it out of love. You're like, whoa, what? Which I don't get. You're like, are you not hearing what your uncle's saying? Are you seriously not that
Yeah,
bright?
he's that dense that like his uncle's already kind of giving him the plans. Like, hey, by the way, do you like Native American women? Because if you marry one, and if they suddenly die, you can get money. You know, like yeah, like that's what William's like doing to Ernest, and Ernest is like, I lack love. Just like he just wants to be held. I'm like, okay, well, at least
Yeah.
you're honest at heart, at least.
Yeah, but you can see how easily he's being manipulated. Like, he scares off that one investigator after Molly hires him to investigate what's going on and why her people are dying so suddenly and so quickly. At such young ages, too. I mean, you kind of know why, but she doesn't know why.
But yeah, wow, you really skipped ahead with the investigator because that's like an hour and 30 minutes in, and like, but yeah, like you could see like Ernest is kind of just doing like petty crimes like grave digging, robbing, and then now he's doing like odd jobs for his uncle where he like kills. I forgot who that one guy was. Where you're like be real careful.
Yeah.
Stop. And then like as soon as he got out of like the mail, the post office, he gets
stabbed.
he gets jumped and stabbed on the style. I was like, oh fuck.
Right. There's also after Annie is murdered, like all these deaths are obviously pretty brutal. Like it's all like shots to the head or like seeing people slowly die. Like you see that in the opening montage where Molly is just like, oh, she died because she got sick. She died because she was sick, and then you see one girl gets shot and she's like, oh, she committed suicide, but you're like, but oh, they're framing it as okay. And her cousin,
no investigation, which was the start of the movie where you have Molly just like saying these names of Native American women, and you're like, no investigation, no investigation, no investigation.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, what's that about? And then yeah, we find out like that was a whole scheme. It's just a whole long ass scheme from William where, hey, if we marry into these very rich people's, lives, and then we start killing them off from random events, we could inherit their money. It's way more complicated than I'm explaining here. And thank God I don't fucking understand, because I don't ever want to do this. I don't really get. I'm kind of like in earnest like position here. Like I don't know what's happening. But that's the whole plan: is that they kill them, they inherit the money, because they are either husbands or like late husbands of these women.
Yeah, and they all suddenly get rich. Like there's one guy who even asks, like, if my children die, do I get all the money? And you're like, Jesus Christ, are you that greedy?
And the one guy who's just like, are you telling me you want to adopt these kids just to kill them, just to inherit the money? You're like, not unless I don't get the money. It's like, what the fuck?
Just feel bad for Molly because she's seeing her loved ones die all around her, and she's getting sick too. Like she has diabetes, and she's one of the few people who get the insulin shots. But along the way, she gets sicker. As soon as DiCaprio administers the medicine himself, and you're like, one, it's either it's not insulin, some way midway through, or William told DiCaprio to put this in the shot, and he doesn't know what it is, because by the end we're like, still like, what the fuck is in the shot? Why is she getting worse?
Yeah, but the thing is, that wasn't the case. It was the doctors that William had under his pocket was like, hey, give her this instead of the insulin. And then, for just extra measure, DiCaprio was like, no, I don't want you guys to give it. I want to give it.
Yeah.
Well, Molly said that. But
it gives him the
he's
perfect
the one doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one doing it the entire time. Not knowing that from the beginning the insulin was already tampered.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like he only finds out when he like I don't know what they were doing. Like they were like burning bushes or some stuff. What was happening?
Yeah, it was just William committing insurance fraud, because like he buys this land, and it's worth this much money, and if something happens to it,
It caught on fire.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I got it.
Even the insurance guy was like, "Son of a bitch," just gave it to
Yeah.
him.
And then like you see Ernest like put it in his drink, like the insulin shot, and then drank it, and then he got sick.
Yeah.
And he was like, "That son of a bitch." So at least we know Ernest didn't really want to do it. I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, we don't really know if the way they're portraying the story is 100% true to life, but just seeing how much this man, William Hale, is just manipulating this town, you're just like, I hope something happens to him. There must be, but that's your own fantasy of like how you want history to be. And then by the end, you're just like, oh, he kind of got, not kind of, he gets away scot-free. You're like, what the fuck? What?
Yeah, that's what happens. He's the Mason. Like he had so much agendas. Like he wanted to inherit the money from the Osage clan, and he also wanted to like level up into this Mason thing that he has.
Yeah, and just to get some money. Like that one guy he insured, that one Native American who's depressed, and he's like, well, his time's up anyway, so he's gonna hire a guy to kill him, but he fucks it up because it's
so funny. I mean, not them killing off the Indian, but it's just that they gave him specific instructions: make it look like a suicide, shoot him in front, like at the front of his head.
yeah.
Don't shoot him at the back of his head. Shoot him in front of his head. The guy kind of got a little too chummy with the Native Americans. Like I like him, but when he found a perfect opportunity, he just like did it all sloppy. He was like, "You're supposed to leave the gun, and you're supposed to shoot him at the front of his head." What the fuck do you do?
Like there are bits here that I don't know, some slight levity when these characters are losing it. Like when Ernest, like, oh, sorry, when William King Hale's like, "Can I have the money now, Mr. Insurance Man?" And the guy's like, "No, it's from another state. You can't." And he's like, "Well, why?" And he's under my insurance. Why can't I have the money? Why? He's like, "Can you calm down? That's not how we do this." "All right, Mr. Insurance Man, I'll be back with proper papers and such." You're like, "Hey man, you just want money from these poor people."
Yeah, like you can tell how stingy he is. Like he's kind of like an absolute dirtbag kind of a person. And then, wait, what else happened in this movie?
Like,
Molly, the biggest what?
I would say Molly convinces the president to send the FBI to be like, please, something's happening to us.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, yeah, because now it's kind of getting a little too personal because all of her family members are dying and her like ex-husband just like committed suicide.
Yeah.
Like,
and her
but instead,
sister's
yeah.
house just straight up blew up. You're like,
that was the scene I was wanting to get into, which was so fun.
yeah.
Like, like William Hale like hired a guy, like a demolitions expert from, the war,
Yeah.
to like come in and like blow up the house. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then of course the husband's there. He's like, shoot me. And then when they find like his wife, she's like in like proper like set like dead form, just like.
Yeah, you're like, I guess she died. Oh my god.
Yeah, like I think she died like in a beautiful way, and then they lifted her up, her brains like coming all over the back of her head. I was like, we didn't need to see that.
Yeah. But yeah, so again, rough scenes to watch, and you're just like, you at this point you are like, yeah, this is definitely Williams doing, and Ernest is just, to be honest, is an idiot for not being like, my uncle's a piece of shit, like until the very end when he himself loses everything, and he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's not gonna lie. This is kind of heartbreaking. Though. Like when you see like clearly they earn and own the money.
Yeah.
Like you see their corpses getting like grave robbed and everything. You see some of their own people kind of turn against them, like Blackie.
Yeah.
Like like you see everyone just out there to get him. Like I love that scene in the trailer where they're like, "Do you see the wolves?" And it's just like every settler that's like coming towards them. I'm like, "Yeah, there they are."
Yeah, there's all of them. There are two people I didn't know were in this movie, and I was surprised. I'm glad.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, and John
Yeah, I
Lithgow.
got shot. I was like, "Hey, what?"
Yeah.
Huh?
And John Lithgow.
Wait, who was it? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
the two lawyers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially Brendan Fraser. I was like, what the fuck? What's Brendan Fraser doing in a Scorsese movie? Good for him. What a career
Good
move.
for him.
Yeah. But I'm sad that he's also a piece of shit because you're like, oh, you're under Williams. pocket.
Yeah. He was a piece of shit, like, lawyer, which I gonna lie, it's such a good scene where he was like, he's trying to save you, you dumb boy. I was like, which made me laugh at the same time. I was like, that's so good.
Yeah. Also, going back a bit, the scene that is hard to watch is when Ernest is like yelling at his wife of like, don't you see? William's giving you this medicine to heal you, and she's just slowly dying. You're like, I don't think you know what healing means.
Yeah.
It's like, you stop depending on that fucking Indian medicine, all that bullshit, all the herbs. Don't you see what this is? And she's just like slumped over, like, don't you see what this
She's
is?
just like, yeah. And I was like, is this what diabetes looks like? Like it's worse? I don't know. I mean, I'm in a family prone to diabetes, but I'm like, I don't think we look like that.
I mean, if the shot's tampered with something, I guess.
I guess so.
But yeah, the scene that does break my heart is when the FBI guy tells Ernest about his kid.
Yeah. By the way, it's fuck. I forgot his name. What's his name?
Ernest?
No. The FBI guy,
Jesse Plemons?
Jesse Plemons.
Yeah.
Amazing actor.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I was like, not gonna lie, like, from time to time when I see him in TV shows or some movies, I'm always like, hey, you're the guy from Breaking Bad. And sometimes I kind of feel bad. I'm like, nah, I kind of like does a really good job in acting.
Yeah.
And then you see him here as a detective. I was like, he's really fucking good. I'm like, what the fuck? Like him as an FBI agent here really sold me, and him being like all sneaky and shit, and like watching William
Yeah.
like do business with Ernest, like him being an actual detective and shit was really cool to see. I'm like, a lot of the times I forgot that he was in Breaking Bad as that really horrible person.
Yeah. I think before the whole script was written, I think he and DiCaprio were supposed to switch roles. Like he was at first Ernest and DiCaprio was the FBI guy, because the whole perspective was at first from the FBI's viewpoint, but they changed the script because they're like, we need to tell this from the Osage this field of view, because they are the victims and they deserve to tell the story. And yeah, just other scenes that break my heart is seeing just Molly break down and lose it. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, because dude, just imagine each family member, as if it was like a curse. It sounds like a curse, where each family member never makes it to like 30.
Yeah.
Or like 35, was it? Like that was a curse.
You die young.
Yeah, you die young. Unlike the bomb, where she kind of died old, but she was kind of poisoned, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was just dying young, and there's like these like piece of shit dude who would like marry one sister, and then when she dies, he marries the other.
Yeah.
So his insurance just keeps racking up. I was like, yo, can't you all tell what the fuck's happening?
Right. Oh man. Anything else to add before we go to the radio show?
The radio show? No, I think that's it. Courtroom scene like in every other Scorsese movie.
Yeah, where he
Like
rats on De Niro. Like once again, De Niro is being ratted on.
yeah.
I do like.
Just like Henry.
Yeah. Before we go to the radio show, do you know the guy who's always like, "Let's go, brother"? That's the actor. That's David from The Last of Us, the show. I mean.
Oh, what?
Yeah. I do like the way this film wraps up, because most true life crime stories just has like a black background and white text of like what happens next. But here it's like, and then Ernest, he ends up in jail for the rest of his life, or almost for the rest of his life. William King Hale goes back to society. Wonders why the Osage doesn't accept him back. You're like, what do you mean? Well, you wonder why.
It is a heartbreaking story because like you see that like Molly dies at 1935, 50, like, and all the inheritance went to like her husband. Yeah, everybody kind of just like stayed in prison. I think Ernest stayed in prison
Yeah.
for the rest of his life, and we get to see, oh shit, it's Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, just leaving this movie with like a heavy message of like there. To this day, the Osage really don't get justice because a lot of them were paroled early. If I'm getting the facts right, yeah, Ernest did have like a life sentence, but he was paroled. Same with William Hale.
Yeah, it like it just showed how unfair the world was back in the day and still is.
Yeah,
Where clearly this is their land,
yeah,
and it's kind of tough to see when other people are like, they have nice stuff, we have to go there and like take it. You know, like it sucks. It is a very bleak ending where it kind of felt like, oh, they got what it came, like, got it. Fuck, I can't say it. Got what they. Fuck, how do you say it?
got their comeuppance.
Sure, that works too.
But yeah, again, you hope like a lot of these characters get their comeuppance, but you remember like this is a true to life story. And history doesn't really work that way, unfortunately.
No,
most of the time.
I feel like it would be more disrespectful if that was the case. For him. Oh, it was all happy. It's not that bad. Well, clearly it was.
Yeah, there's only that last string of hope or a bright light at the end to see that the Osage Nation is still going strong and they still are inheritors of their land, and you're like, at least, thank God.
That's good, but it's not a lot of them. Right?
Yeah.
A lot of ethnic cleansing happened in America.
Yeah.
A
Oh,
little
man.
too much.
But for our first Western, I would say Scorsese does an incredible job at making this movie from like set designs to costumes to just the way the story unfolds. I think he does the story justice. And again, to steal your line, I probably will never watch this again. Great movie.
Great fucking movie. Great fucking. I came out of this a little bit. That's what I like though. I kind of like it when Martin Scorsese does movies where he kind of goes with a biopic of the person, or like an entire clan. Here, he does it pretty well. I wish we saw more of the clan.
Yeah.
Instead of seeing it through Ernest's eyes, I wish we kind of saw it through Molly's eyes more.
Yeah.
But other than that, he did a really good job. Are we at the readings?
Sure. Why not?
Oh, okay. But yeah, from what I was saying, Martin Scorsese did an amazing job at his first Western. I think this might be his last film. He's retiring, right?
No, I don't know. I haven't seen any news updates yet, so I wouldn't think so.
Okay, because I could have sworn I heard somebody was retiring, but it was an amazing Western. I fucking loved it. I loved every minute of it, even though sometimes I didn't understand what was going on. Because it was a lot of inheritance. Oh, she died, so he died, and then this belongs to me. I'm like, okay, I'll believe you. But it was a lot of like convoluted, how would I say, stealing.
Yeah.
Stealing in a legal way. And I kind of liked it. I loved Robert De Niro. I loved, what was the name of the actress who played Molly?
Lily Gladstone.
Lily Gladstone, amazing job. Everybody, like, even for a brief second, Brendan Fraser was here, did an amazing job. Leonardo DiCaprio. Everything was great. So I'll give this one, I'll give this one a 9 out of 10. You know, like, it's a pretty fucking good movie.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking good movie. But the thing is, I am happy I watched it. Never watch it again.
Yeah, same here. I'll also give this a 9. It's a pretty good movie for his first Western. Again, Scorsese does an amazing job, and I'm glad I watched this. Like they even show other dark parts of history, like the Tulsa Massacre, where entire African American community was wiped out by the KKK, and then you see the KKK walking in the streets nonchalantly. Like, what the fuck,
Dude, like, did you notice that the guy was like, he was loaning, or like giving Molly money is like the head of the KKK.
Yeah, he's the wizard. You're like, what the fuck? Oh man. So yeah, just saying shocking things and just things that are hard to watch, but you have to know is very enlightening. And I'm glad I learned about this history this way, and I'm gonna definitely do more research on this as soon as I get more free time. But I'm glad I come to know the story, and I again will definitely be doing more research to do it justice, because the only way to do these families justice is to learn more about them and hopefully spread the words of like we have to do better as a society. Just because people have things that we want doesn't mean we have to, as you said, legally own stuff, but through means that are very illegal, like blowing someone's house up with them in it. But yeah, pretty good movie, hard to watch, but I would definitely recommend it if you want to watch it.
Like, if you're a Scorsese fan, I suggest this is a good one. If you're like a history buff, it's also really good. If you have a weak stomach, though, I suggest maybe putting this one on a pass unless you could like really stomach it.
Yeah.
There's some scenes here that are a little too much, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's been our video for Killers of the Flower Moon. What are your guys' favorite Scorsese movies? Whether it be all the classics, Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, Irishman, am I missing anything? Wolf of Wall Street, which is the more recent one. Or your favorite, The Departed. Comment down below. But if you want to see more of us, please leave these videos a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok to see your best and funniest moments, and Spotify to hear us on the go. Individually, I am Zoda's Voices on TikTok, so if you want to see me do, I don't know, Western impressions, Clint Eastwood, Arthur Morgan, Dutch, who knows, please follow me there. Where can they find you?
You can find me at JohnJu on Instagram. This is America.
And until the next video, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.